Brushing your teeth is such a normal part of our day, right? But have you ever stopped to think about what people did before our fancy plastic brushes existed? Prepare yourself, because the history of the toothbrush is both fascinating and, honestly, a little disgusting. Let's travel back in time, way back, over 5,000 years ago. Civilizations like the ancient Egyptians and Babylonians were already concerned with oral hygiene. But without bristles, their methods were pretty hardcore. They used something called a chew stick. They'd take a small twig, fray one end by chewing on it, and then use that frayed end to scrub their teeth. Think of it as a natural, albeit splintery, toothbrush. Some cultures even used powders made from things like burnt eggshells or crushed animal bones mixed with myrrh. It sounds gritty and gross, and it probably was. But hey, it was a start. They were trying their best to fight off what they called toothworms, which we now know as cavities. Now, let's fast forward a bit to the Tang Dynasty in China, around the 7th century. This is where we see the first recognizable ancestor of our modern toothbrush. It was an invention born out of necessity. They created a handle, usually made from bone or bamboo, and drilled tiny holes into it. Then, they'd painstakingly attach bristles. And what were these bristles made of? Get ready for it. Coarse hairs plucked from the back of a cold climate pig's neck. Yep, pig hair. The cold climate was important because the hair was tougher and more durable. This invention was a game. It was the first time a dedicated tool with bristles was used for cleaning teeth. The idea eventually traveled along trade routes, making its way to Europe around the 17th century. However, it wasn't an instant hit. For one, it was incredibly expensive, a luxury item that only the wealthiest nobles could afford. Most ordinary people just kept using cloths rubbed with salt or soot to wipe their teeth, or they simply used a toothpick. Plus, there was a problem with the Chinese design. Europeans found the pig bristles to be way too stiff and uncomfortable for their gums, so they adapted the idea, often using softer horsehair instead. But even with softer bristles, there was a huge hygiene issue. Imagine using a brush made of animal hair. It's porous, so it would soak up water, stay damp for a long time, and become a perfect breeding ground for bacteria. It would hold onto germs and smells, and the bristles would fall out or wear down quickly. Not exactly the clean, fresh feeling we're used to today. So for centuries, dental hygiene for the masses was pretty minimal. It wasn't until a major scientific breakthrough that things really started to change for everyone. The turning point came in the 1930s with the invention of a miracle material: nylon. In 1938, a company called DuPont de Nemours unveiled the Dr. West's Miracle Tuft toothbrush, the very first toothbrush with nylon bristles. This was a complete revolution. Nylon was a synthetic fiber, so it was much more hygienic than animal hair. It didn't absorb water. It dried quickly. It could be made in different textures, soft, medium, or hardened. It was incredibly durable. Most importantly, nylon could be mass-produced cheaply. Suddenly, toothbrushes were no longer a luxury item. They became affordable and accessible to everyone. The timing was also perfect. Around World War II, American soldiers were required to brush their teeth daily as part of their discipline. And when they returned home, they brought that habit with them. This helped popularize daily toothbrushing across the country and, eventually, the world. From there, innovation just took off. We went from simple nylon brushes to angled heads, ergonomic handles, and flexible necks. Then came the electric toothbrush in the 1960s, which took the manual labor out of brushing. And today, we're living in the future of dental care. We have ultrasonic brushes that vibrate tens of thousands of times per minute, eco-friendly brushes made from bamboo and biodegradable materials, and even smart toothbrushes. These smart brushes connect to apps on your phone, tracking your brushing habits, telling you which spots you missed, and coaching you in real time to be a better brusher. So, the next time you pick up your toothbrush, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey it represents. We've gone from chewing on sticks and scrubbing with pig hair to using high-tech gadgets that ensure our smiles are healthier than ever before. It really makes you thankful for a little bit of nylon and plastic, doesn't it? I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the history of the toothbrush. If you like learning about the weird and wonderful stories behind everyday objects, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.